So today I'm going to discuss a study that was just published in Diabetes Care by a group of researchers from Israel. And basically, what they looked at was whether a very slow up-titration of semaglutide was beneficial compared to the on-label, more rapid up-titration of semaglutide. Now, first off, I love this study because it validates what I've been doing for the past 15 years. So starting with liraglutide, I have had patients click up the dose, which means instead of going to where the normal dosing lines are, I have patients listen for clicks. So they start at 4 clicks and then go to 8 clicks and then go to 12 clicks based on their GI side effects and tolerance. I started doing this about 15 years ago when I spoke to a retired Novo employee who'd actually worked on the development of this pen. And I asked him, is a click a dose? And he said yes. So I knew that I was getting a stable dose. It was a click, but it was going to be the same when I did it week in, week out. What these investigators did is they took 104 patients with type 2 diabetes, randomized them. Half of them were going to be on the click method, that flexible titration regimen, versus the label recommended regimen. So with the flexible regimen, you'll get to 1 milligram in 16 weeks. With the label recommended up-titration, you get there in half the time in 8 weeks. So just to review, the label recommended titration means you start at 0.25 milligrams once weekly and do that for 4 weeks, then up-titrate to 0.5 milligrams for 4 weeks, and finally get to 1 milligram. Their use of the click method used 5 clicks at a time. 5 clicks is equal to 0.0675 milligrams per week, so that you get up to that 1 milligram dose when you're at 74 clicks. And the click method lets you basically delay up titration if you're getting GI side effects. And these individuals were allowed to delay for up to 26 weeks. And I also have my patients go back down if they reach a dose where they're not feeling very good and then start up titrating again. But I think these little clicks let people have more control over the up and down titration. The big finding in this study was not only that there were fewer GI side effects, as one would expect with slower titration, but it was in terms of the adherence to using semaglutide. So 19% withdrew from the study in the label-recommended higher up titration method versus only 2% with the click method. And I found this over and over again. I can basically take people who've tried to take semaglutide using the standard dosing regimen and haven't tolerated it, and I've been able to get them to tolerate it going up at this slower rate. And I often don't get people all the way to 1 milligram. If getting to 0.5 milligrams gets people to their goal, I'll stay at 0.5 milligrams. But the other thing I really like about the slow up titration is that it gives me more time to work on lifestyle. And I think increasingly we're recognizing that people should increase their protein intake so they don't lose as much lean body mass, that they should engage in exercise to maintain their strength and lean body mass, so that when people lose weight more slowly, they don't get so gaunt and look so thin, but they actually seem to me to be healthier, and hopefully they are healthier because they're minding their lifestyle and not having the same risk of rapid weight loss with reduction in lean body mass. So my feeling is that this click method, this slower titration, certainly for people who are sensitive to the GI side effects of semaglutide, is a really good way to go. And if someone seems to tolerate it just fine, you can go up faster. But for those people where there's limits to how quickly they can go up, I'd recommend trying this method. And it's now been validated in at least a relatively small pilot study showing the differences between the flexible regimen and the label recommended approach. Thank you.